Right. So let's talk about this tour. Actually, it's a long tour because you have 10 dates in Spain. I don't know if it's your longest tour so far in Spain, but 10 dates is a lot, right?
It
Yeah,
is, it
I think
is.
so.
Or actually 9 dates in Spain and one in Portugal.
All
So
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Absolute. I'm just gonna.
yeah, no, we never done in the entire history of No Fun at All. We've never done a big Spanish or Iberian tour like that. So
Right. And I was wondering because you guys been playing since '91. That's a lot of tours, a lot of years. Even with the breakup, you reunited afterwards, so just 3 years after, something like that. But it's a lot of tour, and I was wondering, is it getting harder and harder to tour? Not only because it's been a long time since you've been touring, because of the prices as well. It's much more expensive to tour today, like in '91, right?
it is definitely more expensive to tour. Just the flights, since the pandemic, the flights has gone up a lot. Uh, but and maybe my body is not as, it's not as young as it was in 94. So
No.
it hurts a lot more to get out of the van. But otherwise, I think it's actually getting more and more easy to tour. It's you're older, it's not just a big party the whole tour. It's you take it a bit easier and try to see stuff and connect to people. And yeah, I think I'm enjoying it more nowadays than I used to do. Older and wiser. So
Good, right. So, you're still promoting Seven Wave, which I think was released 2022, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
more or less 2022. Yes, I think so. So, it's been 2 years now. Are you already working on something new, or do you think of releasing something new, or that's not in the plans yet?
The, the thing is, Mikael left the band, who was a founding member, and
I know, yeah.
yeah, and he was like the main force behind the music and the melodies and such. So of course it's a big difference now. If for me, and I can only talk for myself, of course, but yeah, him leaving in the band, it's a big deal, of course. But on the other hand, we have a good dynamic in the band, and yeah, we maybe we're talking about, and maybe we already tried some. I don't know. I mean, I've been writing music for my past band, Atlas Losing Grip, before,
Yeah.
and I always had No Fun at All. Even before I joined, it was an influence of mine in melodies and such. So for me, it would be really fun to try to write some No Fun at All songs. But we'll see. We still have some shows to do before like getting into a studio or anything like that. But it's in the talks. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know that you told the fact that I left the band. I think it was after the Latin American tour, right? So, what exactly happened there? It was because of he wanted to spend more time with his family. He was tired of being in the music industry and touring and so on, or what exactly happened there?
Yeah. I think
yeah,
a bit of both, maybe.
Mhm.
yeah,
A
but
little
I
bit.
think yeah, I think mainly he was not comfortable on the road the last couple of years. You could tell that he had not so much fun
Right.
as he used. But on stage, I think he had, but everything in between, I think was yeah. I think he had a really hard time coping with all the travel, and
Yeah.
he was very. I don't know how to say, but you could tell that he was not comfortable in the
Right.
van. 8 hours in the van was not so good for him. But
Yeah.
Which is understandable too. I mean, it's like you got to make up your mind somehow if the hour on stage is worth the 23 hours off stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I guess for me, absolutely worth it because I love to play music
Yeah.
on stage and off stage, doesn't matter really. And we're in good company, but the traveling can really get to you. I mean, you have a lot of time to just keep your head spinning around and like, miss your home or whatever. And it can be tough, of course.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I totally understand after so many years if you choose to step off the wagon. Absolutely, the touring wagon at least. So yeah,
Yeah.
it is what.
Yeah.
And
And who
life's too
knows?
short to not try new things too. So
Exactly. So and who knows? Maybe in a couple of years, if he missed this thing, this world, he can come back, right?
I think so. I think everybody who quits and ends up missing it somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I think so too. But Mickey also had other stuff. Just a couple of months after he quit the band, he got married, and so I think he also, missed having like a family life. He had to spend almost all his time off in the band, and of
yeah,
course, that's hard to keep a relationship if you're in that situation. So
absolutely.
I know.
Yeah, I know
Right.
too. No, but I mean, and we toured a lot with him. I mean, since I stepped into the band in 2017, from 2018 and forward, we toured, except for the
Yeah.
pandemic, of course, but we toured a lot.
Hmm.
And I understand, I understand him. And
Mm.
Right.
sometimes I felt the traveling got to me as well, like, oh, another fucking,
Yeah.
airport or, but it is what it is. Either you
Mhm.
accept it or yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
And it's a good and a bad thing about musicians, right? Because you tour the whole world, but you cannot see most of the cities you play. Like because you've been in sound checks, checking in hotels, so you barely see where you are actually, right?
No, that's
that's
the
true.
occasional day off in a city is very, very much appreciated. It's like, oh yeah, we can go out, and see stuff, and
Eat a good
it's.
dinner.
But as you say, and you're often very tired too. It's
Mm.
late shows, and you need your sleep, and then you have to get up and then go to the next city, and yeah, it is
On
a
the
very
other hand,
special.
you see places that you won't see as a tourist. Like even though the places might be like just alleys and you
Yeah,
know
band
venues
rooms.
and strange cities, but at least you see things. It's just maybe not the most beautiful things all the time, but
Yeah.
I try to appreciate like whatever it is that I might experience, like regular life for regular people in regular parts of cities. That's what I
Right.
see, maybe. Like
Yeah.
it has some charm, I guess, you know.
Right.
But
So
makes us appreciate the days off too. I think we do a lot of stuff nowadays. We try to visit cool places when we have an opportunity,
Yeah.
instead of like being hungover at a hotel room, you know. Yeah.
right. So I asked you before about new music because not every musician has the urge to produce more. Like I mean, especially for bands that had a long legacy, like not fun at all. If you want to, for example, you could just tour with no no anniversary tour of this album, like you did in the past, right? With Out of Bounds or other albums. Which I was wondering, are you fond of actually of doing these tours, like playing a whole album on tour, or are you those kind of musicians that you always want to create something new because you are tired of your catalog?
Yeah, Ingemar has to answer that one mostly, I think.
But yeah, I'm not a big fan of those anniversary things. And I can't really explain why, but it's suddenly there's like a trend. that everyone is gonna do this. You know, Pennywise is going out with album after album after album. Bad Religion is doing the same. Bad Religion, although, did a really cool thing when they played the whole. Was it the Suffer album as an
No
encore? Or
control as well, I think.
yeah, so they play a set and then they go off and then they come back and then they play one of the best punk rock albums ever from start to finish, and that's a cool thing, I think. But yeah, I
That
don't
was the
know.
most
We've been out of
unexpected.
bounds, and I got really tired of doing it. It's just like it's better to pick the really good stuff from everywhere, and in
Yeah.
that case, and that's what we've been doing our entire life. It's like picking the good stuff, and we don't really we haven't really, when we release a new album, we don't go out and play that entire album either.
No.
Which was
Maybe
also
three
it
or
was it was also a trend some years ago for
yeah,
bands
yeah,
playing the full album, you know.
yeah, yeah. And people just stood there and like, okay, and why don't you play the good songs?
Yeah. People are never satisfied either. It's like
Yeah,
they scream for something, and when they get
Yeah.
it, it's like,
exactly.
No,
I
but
th-
I mean, I think it's okay to do that too. But
Absolutely.
it's sometimes it feels like you do that album thing just to get a tour,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I don't know if
I
that's a
don't
good
think we are that band. I mean,
no.
I think
it has.
it's something bigger for fans than for the musicians itself, because I don't know, there was people that is not fun at all fun, but was not there in 95, 96, or 97 to listen to those songs. So it's something special for them. But for musicians itself, maybe it's like, I want to play something new, right?
At least when it's trendy. I think, as Ingemar said, like as Bad Religion did,
Mhm.
when we saw them, and it was totally unexpected, and they played the full No Control album in Vienna or something where we were,
Mhm.
Mm,
and that was like, whoa. And I mean, doing something like that as a special gift for the audience, whatever, people don't expect it. You haven't made a
no.
full,
They didn't promote that they were going
branding.
to do that.
No.
So, and then
Then
it's
it's
a
something extra. But
yeah.
doing it like tour after tour as bands do nowadays, it's getting boring and predictable, I think.
Mm.
I don't think we're that band.
Yeah.
No.
And some bands we've been listening like forever, like Bad Religion, as you say, or No Effects, they're actually retiring. You guys play on Panding Drublic, the tour No Effects did, and you play with them, and they just this year they did like the final tour, and everybody of us who is a NoFX fan think, okay, these guys can play for another 10 or 15 years. Why are they retiring, right? Have you ever thought of that? Of not about NoFX, about yourselves? Like, okay, we are done. We're gonna do just a final tour, and that's it. Or have ever crossed your mind?
Not as such. Uh, Not as such. No, I think we the band has also changed. I mean,
Hmm.
No Fun at All. There's no original member left in No Fun at All, and
Right.
the band evolved through the years. New people have come in, and old people have left, and so I think that maybe that you know new input, new styles of playing bass or playing guitar from different people has really lifted my spirits, at least. So I feel like, oh shit, this is fun to do again. Of course there's dips, where you feel like, oh fuck, this is not worth it, but they're usually quite short, and yeah. Then you do like we played a local show in Sweden last week, and I didn't expect anything from that one. I thought it was going to be like 150 people
Yeah.
at a small club, but the room was packed. It
Hmm.
was and
It was
you could
amazing.
really feel that everyone was enjoying it so much. And then, I'm sold. Then I'm just fuck, I'm gonna do this till I drop dead.
Same here. I had the same feeling. If you go in without expectations and like trying to enjoy the moment, and
Yeah.
Yeah, probably it's
somehow, of course, yeah,
like Lemmy from Motorhead, right? You're gonna die on stage, and that's it.
yeah. I mean, but somehow you have to be a little realistic. Nobody gets any younger, of course, and there will be a date where when it's not possible anymore.
Yeah.
But until then, why worry about it? I mean, we can worry about that later. Right now, it's not in the nearby future, at least for me. So I, I I would love to continue doing this the way we do it. I mean,
Yeah.
I would never let it be totally just routine and without spirit, because it has to be fun and give me something creative, to be
Yeah,
involved in music. Otherwise, I could play music at home. If it's not fun, why do it?
yeah,
It has to be fun. Yeah.
right.
And if it's not fun, I totally, respect if people jump off. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
All right.
Okay, so going back to 2022, we need to talk about something that is not fun to talk about, but is
Ah,
something that probably fans want to hear. And Brad Rock, right? No fun at
yeah.
all. Hit the news all over for the wrong reasons, right? So, and there were like two sides, especially with the band like Sick of It All, right? So, and what you explained what happened there, but seeing that after 2 years of what happened, and you going back to Bracco afterwards, and you decide to release the album anyways. First, you say no, we're gonna stop the tour, and then you did some shows anyways. So, seeing now, 2 years after, what are your thoughts on what happened there, or how it was managed, especially how it was managed by the media and by the fans?
Scary. Um, well, it's hard to talk about, but a misunderstanding
Hmm.
can happen. Uh, and I did something that was, very strange and very, uh, I don't know how to say. And the reaction I got back was even more strange, I think. Uh, and then all hell breaks loose. You get death threats, and that was really scary. And there you can. I was on the verge of saying that I'm not going to play anymore. It's not worth it. It's not worth. And there was no way that I could explain what happened.
Hmm.
Uh, I don't want to go into details, but my hands were tied behind my back. I could not defend myself the way I wanted to do there.
Yeah.
And then we wrote that statement, or Frederick, our guitarist, wrote a really good statement. And then Brackrock also,
Right, their own statement.
made a
Yeah.
statement. And then I started to I started to feel a little bit better, and there it's hard to say. It's hard to say. But now, especially with Lou being ill with cancer,
Hmm.
it feels also very, very strange. How do we relate to that? I feel really, really sorry, and I really think that Sick of It All. One of the best shows I ever seen was a Sick of It All show. So,
Yeah.
like conflicting feelings and questioning of the whole hardcore scene I did at the time. I was like, why are these people even in a punk situation? Because they have nothing to do with punk. This is just macho bullshit that came from the fans.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really, I don't know, it was hard.
And
But nowadays,
it makes you
yeah,
think
go ahead.
like a misunderstanding can destroy your career
Yeah,
and destroy your life because you have, as you said, you have people not just getting sides with this, but send you death threats.
yeah,
That's too hard, you know?
yeah,
Everyone's
and
aware.
but you're always gonna have that kind of people, people who talks about stuff that they have no idea really about, but they have a strong opinion about things that maybe is totally wrong. And but yeah, as you said, there was a few days when I was like, I'm gonna stop this.
Mhm.
Totally understandable. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
the situation, like from my as an outer person, I'm not Ingemar, of course. I
Mhm.
mean, standing beside and seeing how you feel about things, and also having under consideration how I feel, because it was scary for all of us. I mean,
yeah,
the group name is not just one person; it's five of us. But personally, it's you who are in, and you're a close friend, and everything was a big turmoil and upside
yeah,
down. Scary times, but I also thought about that people had no, they just buy what they get sold. Like somebody writes something,
Mhm.
and then that's the truth, and then they act like macho fucking idiots sending death threats. That's not the kind of people I want to hang around with. I want people to like somehow, see through, read between the lines, check the facts before they.
yeah.
And
But
close
also,
friends of ours, they did that. Maybe they reached out and asked, "Hey, what's going on?" And I said, "It's this way,"
Yeah.
and they say, "Okay, I understand."
yeah.
That's it. I mean, yeah,
Right.
it
But
says a
we
lot
also
about
need
people. Yeah,
we also need to talk about all the all the fantastic people that
yeah,
stood up for us and
yeah,
stood up for me, and so much love that I got
yeah,
because I've been in the business for 30 years, and I've I think I have a pretty good reputation, you
Mhm.
know, with fans, with promoters, with booking agents, with venues, with everyone. That's been my thing, to be a good guy, to talk to people, and to be humble. And I always been humble about being able to do this. It's like there's so few people who get to do this, and you have to be humble about that. You have to appreciate what people give you, and what how people treat you. And it's very, very few occasions where you've been treated bad. It's that sound engineer in Canada,
yeah.
no, but
He
you
was
know,
crappy. Yeah,
was one guy.
he
so,
didn't.
so in retrospect, that incident came with a lot of love
Yeah,
afterwards, and a lot of respect. And I have a lot of respect for people who are in the business,
yeah,
wrote me messages, people that I don't really know,
Mhm.
uh,
yeah,
and just said like, you gotta keep on doing this. You cannot quit. You have to, because because you're a good guy. I know. I've heard from so many people.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. That's a good thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
You feel a lot back. Yeah.
yeah.
It is. I feel the energy on our shows also has like improved for the better after
Yeah.
this incident. Like there's been another energy. People like, yeah, you can feel it in the room.
Mm.
It's a supportive energy
Yeah.
more than before. From our side too, of course, because obviously you can't take anything for granted in
Mhm.
life.
No.
can happen out of nowhere, and then it's finished. So you got to be, as Ingemar says, you got to be humble. I love doing this, and it's not just playing; it's meeting people, it's having a good time. You know,
Yeah.
the whole,
Exactly.
the
Eating
whole,
good food.
the whole thing. Yeah, having some good.
Coming
Yeah,
to Spain
you,
soon.
you 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 will have that here in Spain for sure.
I know, I know.
Right. So,
I know.
when people talk about Sweden and try to relate it to punk rock, there's three names that always comes to mind. And actually, you've been doing these tours because it's Millencolin, it's Satanic Surfers, and it's you guys. It's not fun at all. It's the three names that always come up. But I was wondering, there should be something else, something more like in the Swedish punk rock scene. If you have to choose your top five, including these three bands, you guys, Satanic Surfers and Millen Collin, which are the other two bands you will choose on that top five?
If it's melodic, like melodic skate punk, like not hardcore or such, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
Veneria is a band that's been around
yeah, for sure.
for a long time.
Yeah.
And we occasionally play with them at festivals and stuff, and they're really good guys. It's always a good time, and they have really good songs. So
Yeah.
that definitely a pick from my side, of one of the like older bands that's still around,
Right. Hmm.
still doing it respectfully. Yeah. Of
Mm,
course, I mean, you have Refused and hardcore. It's not really the same genre
Yeah.
as we, but
no,
Talking about Refuse, that they are saying goodbye again. I say it's like a second goodbye. They release the Shape of Punk to Come, but with other bands doing songs from that album.
oh,
So
yeah.
I didn't know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There
I
are
remember
there there are,
about
there
that.
are other bands covering songs from that album, and they're
Yeah.
releasing it like as a special edition. And saying goodbye again. What are your thoughts about that? I don't know if you're fans of Refuse or
I mean,
Well,
it is what it
we've
is.
toured,
I
we've
mean,
toured with them.
yeah.
We toured with them on the Shape of Punk to Come release tour for them. So uh, I think I don't want to talk down anyone. It's just when you're young, you're angry, and then you become older and you just maybe are more pragmatic about the world. You see, okay, this is how it works, and uh, so I think also one of the best shows I ever seen was that the Refused show in Montebello in Canada,
Mhm.
2015 maybe. Yeah. Uh, when they just reunited, and that was so good. It was
Mhm.
fantastic. Uh, but I mean, of course, if you have the opportunity to travel around the world and make good money, I can understand that they want to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, of course.
Uh, it becomes a little bit weird, with the Refused Are Fucking Dead thing that happened in 1998 or
yeah,
1999. Can't remember when, but yeah. But as I said, when you're young, you're
yeah,
see this little narrow way, and you have to live with that when you get older. So I'm
You
just
say
sad that Christopher is not with them now because I think he's the coolest guy in the band. So yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, you maybe make a decision, as you say, when you're young and angry, and then life goes on and you start to miss it. The thing that was not the negative parts, of course, you start to miss the good parts of it, and
yeah.
you forget about the negative parts, and I guess that's how the brain works. And yeah, you want to do it again, of course, make money, travel the world, play good shows, but it has an end as well. Of course, they have to say goodbye sometime.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
The problem will be if they do, or any other band, another, comeback.
Yeah.
That's when saying goodbye when you're like, yeah, late 20s, whatever. you know, early 30s, that's understandable if you come back again. But if you do it one more time
like a
now,
third
like, yeah,
comeback, right?
Now we're
like if no
waiting.
effects will
In
come
two
back.
years, no effects is
Yeah.
gonna come back. So
I'm
I think
pretty sure.
I think everybody is hoping for that, and then I
I,
think it will be
I
understandable as
think
well.
you
yeah,
reach a point where you're fed up, totally fucking fed up. You don't want to be included or involved in anything of this shit anymore. But it might change over the years, like a few years, and yeah,
Hmm.
that's what I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. Yes. Well, guys, just to finish the interview, you say you played a couple of weeks ago a show in Sweden. You were expecting like 150 people, and it was a packed show, which is
1 week.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's understandable because you are from Sweden and you're playing in your home country, and no, but we also have this. I think the show in Barcelona is also sold out, and
yeah,
Catalonia always love you guys. I was wondering, it still amazes you that you are this big outside of Sweden and probably outside of Europe because you are playing shows in Latin America, which are packed as well. So,
yeah.
is it normal right now for you, or is still amaze you after 20, 30 years that you have like sold out shows everywhere?
Yeah, I'm just as excited as I was the first time. Every time I go to Stockholm to take a flight somewhere, I
Yeah.
got butterflies all in my stomach. Yeah, I'm going to Japan. Or I'm going to Barcelona, or
Mm,
So yeah, no,
Same
I'm still
here. I
yeah,
mean, even though I haven't been in this band that long, I try to remind myself every time I'm away, pinch yourself a little that
yeah,
yeah.
wake up,
Hmm.
uh, is this real what I'm doing? Because it's so unreal to be able to do it since so many people would love to do this, but
Hmm.
so few of us get the chance.
yeah. I don't think I would have.
Very grateful for it.
Yeah, I
It's
don't think I would have been. I don't think I would be in the band if I didn't have those feelings anymore.
no,
If I was like, oh fuck, I gotta go to Paris, or I
Hmm.
gotta go to Düsseldorf or whatever,
yeah,
I wouldn't be in the band. I just like,
no,
yeah, 4 hours in
part.
Copenhagen at the airport. Yeah.
It's a part of the having fun part I mentioned before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you like to travel and see other cultures and meet other people and see places, even though it's a lot of airports, I mean, it's it fascinates me, and it's very important to take in other parts of the world and not just your own bubble.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
if I wouldn't like that anymore, I would never do it just to get, you know, money for it or whatever.
Yeah.
I could do something else.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are easier ways to make
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
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 For more
Yeah.
money. I mean, we're such a DIY band too. We don't have a management, or we do
Mhm.
things our way. Sometimes it's a lot of work, of course, and it's a lot of stress. But in the end, it's almost always worth it when you get to get out there and
Yeah.
do these things. And I'm always grateful for it. I mean, even the few crappy shows. Afterward,
Yeah.
it's good. It's a good memory. Yeah, I remember.